That's Kuro John Ngobo, training and business development consultant, joins us in the studio. Let's not stay too long on this, on why you're setting goals and why you're not setting goals.
The problem is not setting goals. The problem is getting goals. So,
getting goals or getting goals done?
Getting the, I mean, achieving,
targeting.
Yes, getting your time. So, thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Well, there was a goal you had yesterday that you could not meet.
I couldn't meet it, and we had to veer off.
Wow.
Because of the traffic.
Traffic, eh?
Interesting. Okay, so just a quick one. Just so people understand, what exactly we're talking about. When we, talked about you coming on air this morning, one of the issues that I was saying that some people's goals expire in January. And you found that funny. True. But you agree that it is true.
Oh, it's true.
Okay. Talk to us about it.
Okay, so I like to start, because I'm in learning and development, I like to explain things first before so I'll take a little time, but quickly, what is a goal? First of all, it is something you intend to achieve. Usually, if you don't set it right, there's a problem. But like you mentioned, I think the bigger problem, there's a problem with setting it right. We'll talk about it a bit. The bigger problem is setting it without planning what happens every step of the way. Now, with the January goals, real quick, why they expire real quick is that most times people set goals because it is in the air to do so at the end of a year. It's what most people do. They have a New Year, in fact, they call it a New Year resolution. Let's be clear, a New Year resolution is usually not a goal. It's something I would like to see happen in the new year. Because let's clarify that. A New Year resolution is actually something I would like to see happen in the new year now that we're closing out on an old year.
Wait. The word resolution is supposed to stand for resolve.
True.
Resolute. And I thought resolute sounded like determination.
True. I like the way you said it. Sounds like. People make it, right, thinking that that's what they're doing. But what guides them to do it most times is because everybody else is doing it. Right? So the resolution in itself is really wishful thinking.
Oh dear.
So in the course of this next year, I want to have money. So I'm going to do 3 things to make me have money. Now, in that moment, just before Happy New Year happens, everybody's setting something, and you feel out of place if you don't do it. And then guess what? People do it to communicate to others more than they want to do it to be real to themselves. Like somebody trying to propose, sorry, I hope nobody comes after me for this. But someone chooses to propose to a woman, and the first thing you want to do is propose in public. Excuse me, who are you marrying? Can you ask her privately first, personal opinion, and be sure she's ready to marry you before you do all this fanfare, so that when she says no, she feels like a bad person. So we're more interested in what the world thinks, how people see it, than a serious reason to do it. So it should be a resolution. But it's usually done in the moment, everybody else is doing it, and they just picture themselves with a yacht next year and then set a resolution.
Okay, but I often think, well, I don't know what New Year resolutions are now, but a decade or 2 ago, I know that when we talked about New Year resolutions is maybe there's some things that you planned to do in the outgoing year that you quite did not achieve. And because you were procrastinating and you were doing, and then you resolved that, you know what, in this 2026, I am resolved to seeing this through. I'm going to get it done, regardless of whatever obstacles come my way. I will try and overcome it so that I can see it through. Maybe it's getting an MBA or getting... I thought that was what the New Year resolutions were about.
That's what they're supposed to be about. Right. That's why I said now where we are.
All right.
People do it more because others are doing it. I will feel out of place if I don't. And it's largely wishful thinking. If the resolution part was a serious thing, there'd be a plan to get it done. And there will be little things to put in place. So what happens is we do it in that moment of everybody, oh, New Year resolution, I'll do this. Then we go into the next year. People generally also subconsciously act like January 1st, the first few hours, the weather will change. And the cloud will go red.
We all thought so. It's January 22 or 23 that it's changing. It's not changing on January.
It rained on January 1.
Yes, it did actually.
So
heavily.
The truth is nothing changes outside of you. So people don't make the changes on the inside that should make the resolution work. They've largely made it in the moment. We've moved into the new year. Nothing has changed. But you expect it was not going to happen. Okay. So most times, by the 3rd week of January, the person is no longer going to the gym.
Yeah.
I said
you said it.
I said it.
Oh, they've said, I cannot come and kill myself.
No,
Flat,
only
flat
one.
tummy is not...
That's not complete.
I
cannot come and go and kill myself and die.
Flat tummy is not helping anybody.
Okay. Now, because at the end of the day,
yes,
everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants a better life. Everybody wants some kind of improvement in their lives. Now, the challenge is not the desire.
No.
The challenge, I don't think, is also the will. Perhaps the challenge, you may educate us, you're in the training and development space. Perhaps the challenge is, what are the things that need to inform the desire or the will to do it? Because if there is no enabling environment for doing a thing, as you said, it's just wishful thinking.
Okay, great. So the starting point should be set it and set it right. There's a challenge there if you don't get that right. Most people set goals that are not that vague and are not clear. And here's the problem with that. You don't know when you've achieved it. Someone tells me I want to be rich next year. That is so vague.
Right.
How do we know if 10 million is enough of rich for you? And you just keep going. So I'll take an example of somebody called Joe who says, I'd like to have money in 2026. And I say, your goal is vague. Can we make it smarter? No, not smart. Smarter. First specific, give me a figure. He says 10 million at the end of the year would be great. So we have a specific goal. He says, I said, how do you measure it? He doesn't know. Let's start with, you've said end of the year, so you have 12 months. Can we put a figure to it and say, save whatever you do. I don't know what you do. Whatever you do, save $1 million every month. Now, if you do that, it's now measurable. And then you can do that every month. By the end of the year, you have 12 million. He's thinking $1 million a month seems a lot. You are the one who said 10 million. So it's not. But can I break it down a bit? Maybe you can do 250K a week. He's saying, okay, that sounds reasonable. 250K a week means 1 million a year. Can we break it down some more? Every weekday, save 50K. So it's now very measurable to a daily thing. I say 50K a day, I'll have 12 million at the end of the year. Is it achievable? Joe says, what does that mean? Do you have a job? Are you earning income? Are you doing something? Oh, wow. Because if you don't answer those questions, it's still wishful thinking.
Yeah.
So Joe puts it into context. He must also agree, what more do I need to do to make enough money to save 50K a day? Can we make it more relevant to bigger goals? Joe, you want to travel to Canada in 2027. Good, save 10 million this year. Then you need less of proof of funds. You have money of your own. So it's now, the desire to do it is more, it's time-bound because it's December 31st, 2026. Can we add two things to it? Make it a goal that you can evaluate every now and then. So can you check every week if you've saved 250K, for instance? Can you check every month if you've done $1 million? Can you then review it? So I've made your SMART goal smarter. Can you review it? You can review what you are doing. Maybe I need to do more. Go to Upwork, do work there, get paid in dollars, do more. So setting is the first problem. Once it's not set properly, then even when you get to it, you don't know. You can keep running, not knowing that the race is over already. So setting is the first part. Get the vague out, then it becomes easier. After the setting part to the goal is to then be honest with yourself about what do you need to get it to happen. Not everybody needs to go to a gym to have a flat tummy or a six-pack. That's the honest truth.
Or to be fit.
Or to be fit. So to start off saying, I must pay gym subscription before I become fit is getting it wrong. What if you can't afford it? Maybe you should fetch water in your estate for everybody and do this when you're carrying the water to lift with. I don't know. Maybe you should just do sit-ups. But the resources you require is next. Many people don't plan around resources. Sometimes resources include support. People I can call to give me information. People I can reach out to show me an easier way to get it done.
Sometimes even the resources is time.
Yeah.
The biggest resource actually is time. The biggest of them is time. And people don't plan around time. They just assume that, oh, I have enough time for this. You know how you're heading somewhere and say it's 2 hours, I'll be there in 2 hours. So you leave in 2 hours.
Are you ready?
Like you did yesterday.
Like I did yesterday. I was going to Ibadan and I went back home.
I remember a time in 2008 the horrendous traffic almost ensured that I didn't keep a date with my marriage vows. It was horrible. The traffic was terrible that year. And I think every other time now.
From time to time,
I don't know.
I think it was in 2012. No, 2010, 2009, 2012. I must have spent 12 hours between 5 p.m. and 5 a.m.
Yes, it's
on the same highway. But thank God those days are gone.
I don't know what should be our goal for that role, but that's not
I have to put a goalpost there first. So you were saying?
Yes, something you mentioned too is the environment, which I totally agree. The environment can throw you curveballs like that and just change everything. Like it happened to me yesterday. So we're back to Joe and setting these goals. You really can't beat the environment, but you can create buffers. You can have wiggle room. For instance, Nigeria has economic instability. Let's be frank. Things change suddenly, and then your plan to buy tomatoes at 1,000 has gone to 3,000. Those are realities that we must pay attention to. Systems are weak, institutions are weak, infrastructure is not where it should be. So you are at home working towards this goal, and then they restore power for the first time in 1 week. You are going to stop everything you are doing. And iron everything ironable, charge everything chargeable for the next 2 hours. That's the reality of where we are today. So I suggest to people who want to get those goals achieved to also leave, after you've set it properly, and you're creating a plan around it, resources and co, please leave a little wiggle room along the line. Leave a little wiggle room where, in case this moves, I could do that. That's a lot of work. And I guarantee you, you can't do it on the 31st of December at the end of a year in 2 minutes.
Okay. Perhaps that also speaks to how, I don't know how to put this. Because if we only do annual goal setting, these challenges could occur from time to time.
True.
So is it okay to say, okay, why not set a 5-year goal, and you at least you have something to look forward to in the year ahead, and then you're just putting them in steps.
True.
How does that sound?
I think that's the best thing to do, and I did it twice in my life. So I got into University of Ibadan. Interestingly, I heard you talking about University of Ibadan earlier. And
Don't
told
let
myself,
somebody start.
we're not going there. But I got into the school and told myself a long time ago that I had to come out with good grades, 1. And I had to come out quickly, 2, because there's nobody who will pay my tuition after the normal years. So I went to my department, asked them, how do you calculate first class, second class, all of that. They told me. What scores do I need to have per course to get to this bracket? They told me. And I walked away and wrote on paper, I want to have a second class upper in 4 sessions. You can't say 4 years in Nigeria. Strike could strike you out. So 4 sessions worked for me. And I scrunched it up, threw it away, and I told nobody till I finished university. And I had a 2-1 in 4 sessions. And everything I did along the way, which is what goals do to you, they make it easy to say no. They give you direction. So that helped. When I got into banking, I did it again. I had a 10-year plan to be a full manager. And I didn't tell anybody. I just set a 10-year plan. You become a full manager in banking, you get a car, you get a driver. Tier rubber, as you say it in Nigeria, and some perks come with it. So I said, let's do 10 years, become full manager. I spent 10 years going on that journey. And in the 10th year, promotion list came out, and I was a full manager. I think it's best to not tie to pockets like years. What happens at the end of each year, or any period you choose, it doesn't have to be a year for you. Some crazy guy sets his goals birthday to birthday. Not January to December. So if his birthday is in October, what he will do in the next year of his birthday, he starts to do from that day till the next birthday. So by his next birthday, he wants to achieve something. Now for him, the milestones were set around him. So even his birthday celebration for next year is tailored to what he wants to have achieved in that period.
And reward himself.
And reward himself with that at that time. I think people should stop following general, this is how everybody does it, and choose what suits you. That's what I think. And I like the idea of doing a long-term 2-3 year goal. I mean, nobody wants to build a house and say, I must build it this year. So if it's a long-term goal, it helps. And very importantly, please, people should note 2 things. 1, start small. And 2, stay consistent. Start small. Jump into the gym and lift the biggest weights. You're going to hospital straight. Start small, but just do it consistently every day until over time it becomes second nature.
It is even, you may even be surprised that even if you start small, the gym thing that you buy, even if you start small, your first day you can faint.
Exactly. If you just jump in and...
You think you are fit until you enter it.
Yeah.
And then you know. So the conversation is not about goal setting. It's about goal getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've set it right.
Good.
You've done everything that you're supposed to do. But along the line, as you said, things happen. And for those who have capitulated like that over the years, this year I'm going to stop smoking. This year, I'm going to stop drinking. This year, I'm going to stop this habit. This year, I'm going to, pivot to this and to that. Okay, I'm going to change from this to that.
Okay.
Perhaps the challenge, okay, maybe you want to tell us why those things are difficult, because we hear that nature abhors vacuum.
True.
If I'm going to stop smoking, I have to start something else.
I think
otherwise,
you have a point already.
so that's why I withdrew that pivot from my own question. Go ahead.
So there are goals you could set. No, first of all, there's a goal. Then there are goals you could set that are habit related. So all the goals I've been talking about since have been goals that habits help you to achieve. I want to make more money, buy a car. Those are the goals themselves. Your habits can help you achieve them. But there are habit goals. Everything you mentioned is a habit goal. I want to stop doing this. I want to stop this habit. First of all, people need to remember that there's something called a habit loop. There are three parts to it. There's a cue, the thing that triggers it. There's the behavior, what you do. Then there's the reward. Every habit has a loop. There's a cue. I want to stop smoking, for instance. What triggers the thought to smoke? By the way, I've done research here. Don't ask me why. But I can tell you for free that smoking does not make people feel warm and stuff like that. No, it just triggers hormones in you that are called in psychology the feel-good hormone. They make you feel good in the moment. People get that hit, then they want it again. It doesn't have to be something bigger than just cigarette does that to you. So if you don't first identify that habit loop, breaking the cycle is difficult. First point. So if you get the habit loop, what triggers it? You're in the environment with those who smoke, or you feel tired, or you feel unhappy and you think that could trigger it. First note that. That's the cue. What do? Light a stick. Or you reach out to a bedside drawer that has cigarettes. And then the third thing is the reward, the feeling you get. To break the loop, you must remove one of the three or replace one of the three, which is what the better thing is to replace one. Did you know that you could get the same hit from dark chocolate as you get from cigarette? For instance. And there are other things that do it for you. People buy smoker's gum. And when they chew the gum, it releases the same thing that triggers the same hormones as cigarette smoking does. So you need to identify the loop and change something in the loop. And if you change that small thing in the loop and repeat it over and over again, they say you can change a habit in 21 days. It also includes changing your environment. So if usually smoking is easy because, I picked the example because it was mentioned, you just reach to the side of a drawer and there's a pack. Don't bring a pack of cigarettes to your house anymore. Let somebody in your house know that anytime you see a pack of cigarettes in their house, throw it away. Start with little things. People who say or suggest things like, if you stop, something will happen to you. Yes, there would be something called withdrawal symptoms. It's psychological. They don't kill people in themselves. That's the truth. They don't kill people. So if it's a habit loop, rather than just setting the goal and saying, I want to stop smoking, if you don't change all these things, change the habit loop, remove the enhancers. Your guys who you go out with that encourage this to happen. You have a wine cellar full of drinks nobody's drinking. You're going to, in the middle of the night, once in a while, and say, I cannot kill myself. How did you say it?
And I cannot kill myself and die.
Come and go and kill myself and die. But you said something about goals, the goal getting earlier, about the achievement goals and all those things. That there are some things that aid them, habits aid them. I suspect that one of those habits you are talking about is discipline. Now, what other such habits do you think people need that can help those achievements?
First one is discipline. I totally agree, and I like to define it in a simple way. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. When people register that, it helps. Because these days people say, do what makes you feel happy. No, don't do what makes you feel happy. What makes you feel happy could send you to jail or kill you for that. Do what needs to be done, whether you feel like doing it or not. That's emotional intelligence. I won't go there right now. But you will feel a certain way and say, no, in spite of the way I feel, this thing needs to be done, I will do it now. Discipline is the biggest of them. And discipline is not motivation. Motivation is spike, is yes, let's do it. Oh, they hit me. It usually dies when last man of VIO catches you along the way. Or those environmental things come up. Discipline is I will do it, whether anybody is watching or not, whether I feel like doing it or not. So discipline is the first one. I think the second major one is consistency. I'm not there yet, I'll be frank with you, with some aspects of my work. I'm in consulting, I'm training people, I'm doing stuff like that, I'm helping to recruit. I'm learning consistency there, such that every time you do this thing, you do it this way, in this manner. That helps. But imagine bringing that consistency to your everyday life, that you must do it repeatedly. I'll give you a simple bathroom example. I had a fear of having body odor once, right? And the idea, generally, was to take perfumes around, watch the check and everything. But there's something you should be doing every day in the morning and do consistently to help chase it away. Even if you don't have it, you don't want to have it, which is bath properly every day. There's a tendency to watch soap adverts and just rub soap all over your body, make it lather, and then go out. And you're good. However, once in a while, there should be proper, maybe a sponge or something. So I would take a bath that way and walk away. I'm spilling my private life in public. So I'll take a bath normally and walk away. And then one day I told myself, what if I put a sponge permanently in a visible part of the bathroom where I can't touch the soap without seeing the sponge? That was supposed to help me become consistent with one single behavior. Every time you can, use a sponge to take a bath. Imagine that the environment of this person who wants to get those goals is not reorganized to help them achieve them. Then even the habits would fail. So people say things like, my imagination, innovation, things like that come to me best in the bathroom. I've suggested putting a jotter and a pen somewhere around so that you can scribble it once you come out. You need to make the environment suit those goals. So goal setting is beyond just saying I want to do it. It's changing a lot of things. And you will find resistance in people you already know who will say, what's wrong with you? This is not how you used to behave. Let them know that there's a new me emerging. It's time to begin to act in that manner. So I think that's what people should do. Pay attention to the environment as well and begin to tailor it to suit these habits you want to change, or else the goals don't get achieved.
Okay. Sometimes you need partners along the way, right?
Yes.
Who are these partners?
Generally, they call them accountability partners, right? They don't have to be people who can whip you in line when you fail. Sometimes it's just somebody you would feel disappointed when they are disappointed in you. You don't want to report, I didn't get it done to them. And it could be a partner. A partner helps. A life partner helps a lot. They see you every day. It could be somebody who's a partner in business. It could be a friend who trusts you enough. But somebody else to tell helps. When you are in your own head, you are usually right. Usually you are right. What you are doing is correct and it's good for the moment when you're in your own head. Somebody else needs to tell you once in a while that you will not get 10 million naira at the end of the year if you don't save that 50K today.
But then again, during the course of the year, how do you do those checks? For instance, in an organization, when you do your yearly appraisal, you set the goals at the appraisal goals at the beginning of the year. You do those things, and there's a mid-year check.
Yes.
Have you achieved those goals? To what extent have you achieved the goals?
Yeah.
What percentage do you have? What else needs to be done to push you to where you're going and all that? So in the personal goal setting, to get the goals, we're talking about goal getting. Sure. How do you do your checks in the mid-year checks to say, where am I at? What am I doing? What am I doing right that has pushed me? Are there things I'm doing wrong that's slowing me down? All those kind of things. How do you do those in there?
I like that you brought in the workplace example, because that's my orientation from banking from way back. Every week you are doing a weekly report. Every month you are doing you are going to a meeting where we tear everything down, leave no details, take no prisoners. That continues all the while. So you don't wake up in June, mid-year, and say, I didn't know we have gone this far. We can apply the same thing. Let's go back to Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, I told to break down his 12 million a year, which is more than what he intended to have anyways, to 50K a day. Then I said, pick, and anybody should look up smarter goals. The E and the R at the end should help you evaluate and review. So pick a period of time where you can check that app you are saving in to see if you now have 250K at the end of every week. That's evaluation. You need to set it for yourself, and a partner helps. A friend of mine called me, interestingly, he's a man of God, and said, I need to save, but it's difficult because there's so many things pulling at me, and I have empathy. And when I said, yes, I know. Go and find somewhere where they will come in, where a machine, a bug in science today, of course an app, will come into your account every day and pull an amount of money out. Said, are you serious? I said, yes. I did it 1 year, and then I did 1,000 a day. Then on the day we agreed, I got a credit of 300 and something thousand plus the interest. And I said, this feels good. So the next year I made it 2,000. And if I don't have money in the account, I don't get harassed. If I put money in the account, they have no chills. Bob just goes there and take all the money for the last 5 days and locks it somewhere. And I signed some kind of thing with them that don't give it to me till then. So end of next year, 700 and something thousand naira. Now those 1,000 nairas will go somewhere. You will spend them. So if you are not sure about accountability on your own, evaluate, check every week how far have you gone, and then review what more do I need to do, which is what I said earlier. Then let an accountability partner help you. Sometimes the human beings that we pick as accountability partners, they also fail. Because there's, for instance, the guy who wants to save, and then your friend, who's your partner, needs 50K from you. He'll tell you one day cannot kill you. Give me this 50K.
Well, we're done.
We're done. Well, can I ask you this? Who is Joe? I'm just asking.
Oh, Joe is a hypothetical.
I know. I know. All right. So, thank you so much. That was really an eye-opener. Koro, John Ngobo. Yes. I got that right, yes. Training and business development consultant. A pleasure again having you on the program.
Thank you very much.